It's time now for the Nedbank Business Ignite with CapeTalk, and we're recognizing and rewarding small businesses that have dared to scale up and in doing so seen remarkable growth. You too can enter your business at igniteyourbusiness.co.za to potentially win that 200,000 Rand cash prize and a professional corporate video. We're speaking to this week's Friday finalist, Devin Hagedorn Hansen of HH Industries. But as first and always, Tuli Magubani, our judge and founder and director of Mint Fresh. Good morning, Tuli. What is it about HH Industries that has piqued your interest? They're doing amazing things in manufacturing and 3D printing services.
Morning, Lester, and morning to the listeners. As you rightly said, they're doing great and amazing things. And HH Industries, they're doing 3D printing, and they're specializing in different types of metals. They do plastic as well. And as I was speaking to Trent, and he just told me that, in terms of application, it's really your imagination that is the limit. You can do almost anything with 3D printing, and they're doing some weird and wonderful things, including working on parts for an ear. Can you imagine that?
and it is a growing and innovating industry. Even some of the products that we may have in our home, the components of the tools that we have around our home, as you said, even used in the biomedical industry, it is a growing industry, and it would stand to reason that HH Industries has seen growth.
Definitely, and they work across industries. They do parts for a lot of technical stuff and machinery, and they're working with industries like mining, as you said, the biomedical field. And we even talked about maybe looking at clothing in future. What can you do with 3D printing? So, the applications are basically endless.
So let me speak to Devin Hagedorn Hansen. Excuse me, Dr. Devin Hagedorn Hansen, because he has a PhD in engineering. Good morning, Devin. A PhD in engineering and specializing in 3D printing.
Yes, yeah. So it's quite a journey that I've been on with additive manufacturing, 3D printing, and got my PhD from Stellenbosch in it's laser powder bed fusion of tungsten carbide cutting tools. So I made a cutting tool to remove material using 3D printing. Yeah.
And as I was mentioning to Tuli, there are plenty of components that we may use in and around our home, our office, our vehicles, even in the biomedical sphere, that we may not even know has been constructed, designed, and made using 3D printing.
Yes, 100%. I recently saw one of these gift handouts from Coca-Cola or one of those companies that if you bought a liquid fruit or something, then you would get a free product, and that was actually 3D printed. Your pizzas nowadays from certain manufacturers are using some 3D printing in their production lines. We're using it in jet engines. We're using it in rocket motors. We're using it in spinal implants now. So the GE actually had an advert called the Anything Factory. So it's basically with their 3D printing systems, it's really up to your imagination and creativity. But obviously there are some limitations, and you got to work around those.
Because it means that this future that we're living in currently it's making things, products, components more accessible. They're becoming more affordable. It is also, in a sense, more environmentally sustainable to consider making components using 3D materials, 3D printed materials.
Yeah, 100%. We've installed quite a few metal 3D printers into industry, and you're looking at about 300-400 watts. That's it's like 5 iPads, 5 to 10 iPads that are worth of electricity to actually power these things. Our facility is off grid at present. Every now and then we need to switch on Eskom when it's a cloudy day. But effectively, you can run these things off very low power requirements. So sustainability is one of the core things as well.
Tell me about the business, HH Industries. What has seen your success over the last while, but also been a challenge in sustaining and growing a business?
It's quite a few challenges, I must say. We recently did a facility for the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. That just navigating the logistics around that was quite challenging. We've done quite a few facilities as well in Pretoria. That was quite quick and easy. We're doing stuff for the nuclear industry as well. South Africa has a thriving nuclear industry. In fact, I think we still export around 25% of the medical grade isotopes for cancer treatment processes. And we've installed and are using at two different facilities. Itemba Labs being in Somerset West. We're doing some stuff with them using the actual 3D printing, and then in Nexa in Pelindaba, they're actually doing some manufacturing of some parts, and they've got their own machine now.
It's fascinating. But tell me, how have you grown? How have you increased your offering? You mentioned in clientele base that seems a broad footprint, a wide footprint in Africa, into Africa. How have you grown over the last while?
It's been a challenge. We've got a very strong team, at least. There's a limited amount of us, but we have been pushing the 3D printing narrative for many, many years now. I didn't just start this overnight. Been in it for more than 12 years now, and probably on 14 years now. And I've been pushing it ever since. Collaboration is key, definitely, in this industry. We collaborate with our competitors quite often because the industry in South Africa is so small. You can't have any enemies in that regard.
Well, Devin Hagedorn Hansen of HH Industries, Tuli, I'll have you add the last word. What fascinates you not only about this industry, but particularly about Devin's business?
Lester, I think today's business speaks to the future. I think there's going to be more uses for 3D printing, and as more companies actually see its potential, Devin can only get more assignments for his company. So we're also going to need skills. I think that's also another area where Devin can grow, trying to give young people a chance and training them up in this sector so that there are more individuals who are skilled in 3D printing.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more of HH Industries. Devin Hagedorn Hansen, really appreciate your time. And listen to Good Morning Cape Town on Monday to find out who our next finalist is. Enter Nedbank Business Ignite with CapeTalk now at igniteyourbusiness.co.za. T's and C's apply. See money differently. Nedbank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.